Hello there, Golfer here, and welcome back to Let's Play of Civ 7, where we last left off. We are kind of just mulling our way through the modern age, which is kind of normal for Civ 7, unfortunately. At this point, like, I love the first two ages of Civ 7. It's like my favorite, because it's effectively the first age again, but it doesn't really do that in this, because most of the land's already taken, which leaves conquest. And I'll be honest, Civ 5 was partially good because the combat wasn't overly complicated. I kind of feel like it's overly complicated in this.
Just as modern mass production requires the standardization of commodities, so the social process requires standardization of man.
Okay, so now I can build by factories, but they require rail stations, I believe. So let me check in a town that has it. Yes, I can. So what I can do is, let's focus on doing it in my actual cities. Does this have specialists? Yeah, it has production from specialists. This doesn't. This is an open spot. Yeah. Let's buy factories in all of my cities. Which I can't do here because you don't have enough le gold. We can build a rail station. Yeah, there's fine. Also get the port for the extra resource slot. I'll lose some food here, but what to do? But no suitable locations. Can be purchased down which will suddenly connect to the capital by a railroad. Is that why? I don't think so. I have... Oh, you don't have the rail station yet. Derp. Alright, let's see. I think I got one here. I do. So we can buy the factory here. Okay. And so I can do, if I make it a factory town, we get +1 resource slot. And then the trade routes have that, or I can make you the farming town and give you food everywhere else so I get more culture. Yeah, that. This town focuses. Boom. We get 350. That's being sent to 3 different cities. We're going to want to port there eventually. Factory, then port works fine there too. Okay. And then you have the port. Don't have enough gold for the rail station though, so we're gonna need to do it here eventually. Grow the town. You actually want that, and I want you to keep growing. Otherwise, you can go to a food focus. You can go to a food focus. And food focus. So those 3 are in a food focus. You can also go in a food focus. That should be sending my food to... Yeah, my 3 different cities. So I do have Palpusu. Yeah, you're not getting food, unfortunately. It might be distance. It might be because I need I need a rail station first and then a port, or just a rail station. I don't remember. Let's see if I hover over rails. Start with rail station. Settlements, rail station to railroads, units to rail. Units move from one settlement with the railroad to another. Modern go blanks. Okay, it doesn't. Let's try port. Doesn't say. Okay, well, let's see. Here, guess you can also become a food town. And you're still not getting any of the food. Why aren't you connected? Let's buy a merchant. Since those aren't too expensive. But theoretically, I could continue having you grow, but you already gave me 250 gold food per turn, and that's just fine by me. So now if we look at my capital, it's getting 1,000 food per turn. Crazy. And that's just going to allow me to spam specialists like crazy. Let's see. Boost in production. A big boost in production. Mines and woodcutters for a total of 44. Sounds good to me. All right, so we got resource assignments. We have a factory here. So we can get a bonus to... I wish these were... So we have cocoa, which is happiness. Tea, which is science. That's heals. Coffee is buildings and wonder construction. I feel like coffee is going to be the main focus. So we'll do that. Whoops. %15 boost. That's my only factory at the moment, annoyingly, but we'll get more. Okay. Working on another artifact. Okay. Oh, additional production down here. Yeah, we're gonna start filling up that one. Now we're growing again in 4 turns. I could make that go even higher, but we're gonna get all these buildings done first. As I try to increase. All right, so... Those are just trade routes. I'm not sure why I don't have it. Maybe because I don't have the rail station. Or whatever. I wanted the merchant anyway. That's weird.
The members of the nation will never know most of their fellow members. Yet in the mind of each lives the image of their communion.
Okay, so now the question is, where do I want to build this wonder, or where can I build this wonder? So it's 7 turns here, and I need to build, I can build it right after, so it'll be 8 turns total. Possibly 7, depending on it. I can't build it here. Probably have nowhere to build it there. Don't really want to spend the time to build it here, and I can't anyway. Alright, I'll build out my capital. Only have one place to build it. We get culture or science. I'll do science. Why not? Okay. Don't want the celebration duration. That actually doesn't sound great. That. Care about that. That. Alright, so we look at the victory conditions for culture. We need to display 5 artifacts. God, that is annoyingly how hard this is.
And was Jerusalem builded here? Among...
Okay, nice little production boost. All right. Just make you a food town right now. And then all the food's going to those cities because you're connected. All right, so let's see here. Did I get all of these? Did. Mass production too is pretty important for additional food. Okay, nice little culture boost.
Angels. Great city of immortals. Magnificent city of the 9 gems, seat of...
Okay, +3 culture on those is nice, but I don't know if we'll ever get to them. That's not bad. And a specialist limit? Yeah, let's go for capitalism. Capitalism as a fascist sounds interesting. I don't really care for the rest of those in fascism, which is interesting. I wonder if, actually, I could look. I was just thinking how annoying it is that they're all here, but that's actually kind of a benefit. So, that's pretty garbage. Plus 30% production towards wonders is solid, but that's it. So those two are also garbage. Let's look at communism. additional food in towns. It's eh. And then socialism is also eh. What was the last one? City projects? Yeah, they're both pretty eh. Okay, you got that one. Put it over here. Where's the next? Is there another? It's hegemony, yeah. We'll actually grab that first because then I can do some more research. Two, 4, 5, 4, 1. Be nice if they included the little green numbers for specialists too. I can see like, oh, this is the highest one.
Just as modern mass production requires the standardization of commodities, so the social...
Okay, just out of curiosity. 1,300 food in my capital. And to be clear, that's extra food. That one... Ah, there's one way down here. Okay, I have 3 culture. Did I already start candy? I did, and I'm also in first place, which is good. Keep an eye on that, though. Actually, does it say how many per turn she threw in there? I'm assuming 2, given that she's 3 turns behind me. I don't really want more cultural, don't really want more... Democratic. Oh, somebody killed that one. Gosh darn it. Wish there was a list. These independent powers. Alright, we'll do... Actually, there we go. Okay. Use a celebration. We're actually going to boost the culture to get that faster. Whoops, what happened? Oh, it's weird. Okay, you're maxed out. 2, this gives me more production though, so... Production? Culture policy available, I guess... You? Was there anything else that was particularly meh? Not particularly. This is showing me trade routes, which is really odd. Alright, we got a 25% production bonus towards buildings and wonders. Just solid. Neither of you like me because of opposed ideologies. Should have benefited it, right? Meh. Okay. Six turns for a factory, eh? There's one specialist there. There's no specialists here. And there's 6 specialists here, so that doesn't really benefit. One specialist there. So 13 is the base. So this is actually giving me the most bang for my buck, because the rest are because of specialists, but... yeah, put the factory there. That's fine. Okay, you finished doing that. I no longer need the food as much as I want production. These cities, but the production is nice and high, which is lovely. I'm also working towards, yeah, because we now have factory up and running. Does that really only give 1 XP even though it's technically 2 attacks? That's really dumb. I forgot to befriend another city-state.
The well-being of faraway strangers. So readily do people...
Let's go ahead and make sure I get the one... Get you. You being friendly is probably a nice little heads up if I get attacked. Okay, got you. And you actually don't have great food. Funny enough. Let's go ahead and buff you out. Actually, buy the factory here, too. I could make you a factory town, but once again, I think giving the food all my other cities and stuff, except you're not close enough. There's just no trade route. Like, it's... that's just annoying. Okay. You actually have a lot of slots. Do a boost to science. I could increase production even further. I'm tempted to do that just to get, because that means I'm going to get a little more of everything. Yeah, let's do that. So I have enough slots for it. Yeah, looks good. So I'll give you more food since you're not connected. This rate might be an economic win. Okay, how are we doing, by the way? We're still ahead. We can choose our city-state bonus. +2 cultural museums for each cultural city-state you are suzerain of. Receive 1 artifact. That actually sounds lovely. There I have a bunch of museums, so that's going to be a small increase. It was like 1020. But I also get an artifact from that, which is actually a little bit more important right now. We're going to flip 15 turns. You hate me. Just because of the opposed ideologies. I share an ideology with you.
The face of a city changes faster than a human heart.
Can I build that wonder in my capital? Yes, that is no. I don't think it was already built, right? Placed on wet terrain. It's a very specific. It's a That's the only place I can build it. All right. It's not with the factory. No new alliance between leaders. I don't really want to get in a war, so I will reject. We have the same ideology, so I'm not too concerned about her opinion of me. Near the Eiffel Tower in my capital, that would actually be solid. This is so bloody high. I'm almost tempted to throw a city over here just to grab these extra coffees. I don't really care to do that, if I'm honest. Okay, you've now got a factory slot. Oh, tin is growth rate. I guess because it's like canned food is the idea. Okay, that's good to know, because I only have a couple. Save that for like a smaller town. Speaking of which... %, boost in growth rate, and then with specialist that becomes like 33 overall. Solid. 34. Actually, don't need that. Hold on. We want production. Capital's still building it. Okay. All right. How am I doing time? All right. Well, I'm going to cut the video off here. Thank you all much for watching, and God bless.